So assume I have these two nodes. One is the head, one is the tail. How do I actually go about coding this? If you look here, I've already coded it, but I'm going to do it from scratch just for you. We're going to be using a class to represent our node. Why a class? Because we want it to be having a data. Alright, this is the data and this is the address. So this is what I'm going to call the data attribute, and this is going to be called the address, but I'm not going to call it the address, I'm going to call it next, because it stores the next node. Simple as that. I'm going to create two variables inside of this node. I'm going to call the first one data, and I'm going to call this next one next. Now the type for the next is not going to be int, it's going to be a node type, basically the class itself. Why? Because assume that you think of it like this: the next attribute contains the next node, so it contains the tail. The tail is stored inside of the next, because we want to store the next node inside of it. And because it's storing an address, we're going to use a pointer. Then we're going to have a constructor int, and we're going to pass in the data, the d parameter, which is going to be the data, and I'm going to say data is equal to d. Next, I'm going to make the next default to null, because I don't want to go ahead, I just want to automatically make it null. Fine. Then I have the main function. Perfect. Inside of the main function, what I want you to do is I want you to create your object of head type, and it must be a pointer because we're working on the heap. Okay, you know what the heap is, right? And we're going to create a node type here, and I'm going to pass in a value of 5 there, and then I'm going to create another node of tail, new node. I'm going to store in the value of 10. Now what have we just done over here? Head type, if you can see in our drawing, we've created this node here, and then we had tail, so this line of code creates this tail type as well, but we have not linked them yet. We haven't linked them yet. Alright, so let me just run the code and see if it gives us any errors. Oh sorry, it does actually give us errors. What's wrong? Declared private. Such a critical error, I couldn't even pick it up. Public, of course, but besides that there's no any other errors, I'm sure of that. Just forgot the access specifier. Okay, so we have the head, we have the tail. Now we're going to link them together. So I'm going to say head dot next is equal to tail. And what does this do is that because it's head dot next, what it means is that the next value would be accessed, and it's going to store the tail inside of it. So we put the tail inside here. Basically tail isn't going inside of it, the address of tail is going inside of it, but you can think of it like tail is inside of the next attribute of the head. How cool is that? And once we've done that, we've linked it together. Now the cool thing about this is that once I do a cout, okay, I can see out head and its data, and if I run that, you can see it's going to print out of 5. We've created a linked list, and if I want to access the next attribute, you don't need to say tail.next, you can just say head.next and it's next. Alright, I'm just gonna put that there. I'm gonna see out this. Actually it's gonna be next.data, sorry. And you can see it prints out at 10. So that's just some simple code how to code a linked list.